So I feel like I'm mostly there. I've got an account on Sandbox and I pasted in the ChatGPT generated Python code,
Yeah.
but then it just seems to float and I would wait
So you,
20 minutes and nothing would happen.
which sandbox? That was sort of thing I was confused on because there's so many different.
Oh, I thought it was a,
No, because Sandbox is a game design engine that a lot of major companies use for just talking about a specific style of game, not necessarily a program. So is it the Sandbox game? Is it Sandbox code Sandbox?
so which one would you,
Well, that's why I was curious on which one you're looking at. I don't know if you sent me the link to the Sandbox. Might be able to that you're trying to look into.
it was code Sandbox.
Oh, yeah. Let's have a look.
That one look familiar?
I haven't used it, but yeah, I'm in there now. Let's go out Sandbox. So can you, so you're finding that you're trying to implement the code from ChatGPT into this to do something specific? What's the,
So I've got a simulation game.
yeah,
And then the instructions were to run the React code Sandbox. And this is very simulation. And then it tells me to copy everything here
yep.
and delete that.
And then you just get errors.
Then there's just errors there. And then let's see, I want it's right here. I don't know, maybe it's just ChatGPT didn't create it correctly. I'm gonna paste that. This looks a little bit better. Where I was getting error messages.
So essentially what you're doing is vibe coding, where you're using common language to create code and then putting it into another program to generate an app or an interface. Really hard to troubleshoot when you're getting it, but that looks like it's starting to do what you want. But
Yeah.
see, one of the fundamental things you might, I don't know how far you've gone down this track, but when we're looking at vibe coding in general, we want to create what we call a PRD, a product requirement document. So in your chat history, did it create a series of requirements for the code sandbox to follow?
I remember there were a few lines of code that showed up. I sort of disregarded them.
Yeah. So no, that's fine. So when you're in sandbox, now you've put that in there, does it look like it's doing what you want?
Yeah.
And can you interact with it?
Let me put on.
So can you give me like a really high level overview of what the app version is supposed to do?
So it's a simulation where they're assigned a country, and then that country has particular natural resources, and there's a commodity there. So it's oil is $12 a barrel, and then they can choose to buy it or sell it. And then the next turn, there's some sort of current event that happens. And so war in the Middle East, oil is scarce, supply is down, demand is up, price goes up. You benefit from that.
Okay, actually, yeah. You're finding you're getting stuck on because code sandbox by the looks of it, what I'm seeing, it's you can do various different integrations like the storybook integration. There's all sorts. Have you tried Claude Code before? So Claude Code is I'll bring it up for you so you can see it. Claude, at the moment, it's been my go-to for nearly 2 years now because it is pretty much the powerhouse of writing, but now it's basically battling out everyone else in regards to the coding space too.
Okay.
It can make artifacts in real time and simulations in real time, which you can then publish into different formats. Like you can create all sorts. Like you look at this. So this is Claude in a nutshell, but you've got this Claude code. You can code directly in this. It can do whatever you want. If you ask ChatGPT right now, create a PRD and just tell it that, create a PRD based on my entire chat history for this project that can vibe code, we call it an MVP. So create a PRD so we can develop an MVP, a minimum viable product, but in a way that I can copy this as single prompt into a different engine. And then just once it's generated it, just paste it to me in the chat and I'll slap it in here and we'll see if it does.
For the purposes of a simulation program.
So you've got GPT, you've got their version called Codex now. Should do something very similar. These two companies are sort of battling it out. But the reason I go with this one is this is a framework that I've just put together. I'm about to trial it with the tech team, and I think I've sent it to you. But that's all Claude code. Like basically coded out my minimum viable product. This isn't interactive. I could make it interactive if I wanted to, but I basically just ran board and produced this document.
What was interesting is with the Gloria kids created a haunted house, sort of a mud game, all text. You're in this room. Look at this.
Yeah,
It worked terrific for me because I have a subscription.
yeah,
The PDF and the code, and that was all in a group project. So I could run the simulation endlessly, but they ran out after
yeah,
a short amount of time.
yeah. They hit their token limit.
Yeah.
I think that's why the education, like, we're just gonna more than likely start moving into Gemini.
Sure.
It's free for all kids. It's got a lot more security protocols around it, like data protection side of things.
Yeah.
The token limit is just basically non-existent when it comes to this kind of stuff. I did produce something for you. Be a huge working document.
It's all in text.
Yeah, great. So if you copy the entire thing, like one,
I think you'll let me do the data structure.
okay, let more prompt say this needs to be exported in one solid PDF or written form in what we call it.
From?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gemini integrates with Google Drive and
Yeah.
email.
Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing now it's in Google Classroom. You got Google Notebook LM already in there. You've got the Gems feature of Gemini in there. It's for us, it's gonna just take over like our operation once we know it a little bit.
Yeah.
I still find Claude is just so good. Like on everything I try to do it. So,
Will it recognize if there's any errors in the code or bug them?
and it'll debug it all. Basically, I found a limit that I haven't been able to get around because all I would do is I screenshot the error, send it back in, and say, find and fix this error. And then it will sift through. And because we're asking it for a PID, product requirement document, it's like strict instructions it needs to execute. So it'll try to go back and find any particular like fundamental thing in design.
Maybe confirm. I wonder sometimes if they put it in there just to slow down.
Yeah.
But then they have to do it.
Exactly. They put a bit in this as well. Like you're exporting this massive, and then it'll just like, yeah, can't that's too much. Yeah. Here's an example what I was talking about. I put in my about this AI framework we're about to use. I've run it a few times and then it's built out this way. So then I can just publish it onto a website.
I'm doing on America in another 2 weeks with
Okay.
the scholar stuff kids.
Oh yeah.
So I'll be gone for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Feels like.
Yeah.
But I'll get for the grade 10s.
Oh yeah.
With top lights.
Nice. So I'm gonna head off in 12 minutes to SLT. But if this so what I suggest is these things is one, you can just send me over and I can just slap it into a board and just see what it produces for you.
Okay.
Second is to try Gemini for the same thing. Grab that PID that you're creating and put it in here once you're signed in. Because it's basically everyone in this space that I'm watching is they'll have like Replit open, which another vibe coding platform, but it's paid one. They'll have Claude Code open, they'll have Codex open, and they get the prompt that they want, and they'll put it into 3 different things at the same time and see which gets a better response. And it's pretty much they're just like, oh, we're going to take a bit of this, take a bit of that, and then they get this really cool interface going.
We're formatted.
All right. So you're in America in week 3 and 4? We've won
Yeah,
out.
the term. So
Yeah.
November 2nd or the 3rd.
Okay. Yeah. Gonna say like basically myself how to do vibe coding at the moment, and I've been doing it for a bit, just testing this kind of stuff. But on the 4th, I'm gonna run an hour sort of with me, kind of just online, and if available, you could have jumped in that. This is basically like I'm getting a small group of like, okay, this is what
Be good.
focusing on, and
Because, in the past, the students have done a simulation that involves slips of paper and a lot of messy things.
yeah,
It work, but
these you can,
yeah,
definitely.
and then we keep better accounting, I believe. So I emailed it to you. I can look at the chat history and try to do another one by myself.
Yeah, so grab this one that you sent, and I'm just going to paste it in exactly how you got it. But I'll get a prompt. I'll say pretty much what I'm telling it is you're designing a simulation game for students. It attaches a PID overview. Review it, create an MVP. If there's any issues, ask for context. See what it does.
How much have to feeling if you're invited on? Are you sure? Yeah, if they're just grab it, if it's not there, just send me a text, it's probably inside. Okay, I think I'm too fat. It's we just there every now. Yeah, I can, yeah, no. We can have better and stuff. Wow, you could try and be more expensive. To a little more. I'm just about my. Okay, that's not good. Thank you. What is it for? Social media? Yeah, just social media.
You're running Codex for the same thing?
I tell you, I didn't know what was under the hood.
Yeah.
But I found it really,
Separate thing.
it's really amazing because I could alter the game, and the kids did is they wrote their own description of their particular haunted room
Yeah.
and what was gonna happen in there and what the puzzle was. And then I slapped that onto that is in the group.
Mhm.
This will change.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. So here's a MVP for this. Let's see if it runs. So you got your trade sim light simulation for grade 10 economics. Here's your objectives. Select your country. Each country specializes in different commodities. Choose wisely. Colombia exports coffee, flowers. United Kingdom exports pharmaceuticals, machinery. India, spices, textiles. Thailand, rice, electronics. Saudi Arabia, oil and petrochemicals. Let's go Saudi. New oil discovered in Africa. Major oil discovery increases global supply expectations. Oil prices drop. Impact buyers of oil and petrochemicals benefit. Commodity market. How much are we buying and selling? So new oil discovered, and you've got 1,000.
Can you edit that at all, or is that
Yeah.
filming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I want to buy, I don't know. Let's go petrochemicals or pharmaceuticals. No, where's petro? There it is. It's going down. I want to buy lots, and
I think that's one thing that's not quite right in the simulation is that everyone starts off at zero. And it should be that Saudi Arabia has most of the oil.
yeah. So what it's is any price.
Right.
So we would do is we screenshot this. Don't have to screenshot it, but you can, and say, oh, it didn't finish. That's why. So let's just continue it. So that show a price up, how many holdings they currently have, and based on what country they were selected.
So then this would be packaged up as an app. And then how do I have the students run the app?
Yeah, so all you do is hit publish, and we can hit publish again, and pretty much I can copy this and put it into our chat. There you go, you've got it now. So now you can run the version that we've just created, but because it's not doing 100% of what we want, there's other things that it's saying, hey, we need these things answered. Classroom deployment, teacher controls, data export. But so like things like this, just into the chat, say, what do we want to say? They start off with a certain.
Yeah, have half of their money is in cash and the other half is in the commodity of the country, what the country's specialty is. We'll probably link Colombia to popular.
It's doing what we want. We've got updated pricing lists now. You can holdings, you can cash on hand, total wealth. And what I've asked it now, I've basically said, where's the prompt I give you? I said, here it is. Excellent. Now suggest ways to improve the simulation to teach students about markets and address the learning objectives. We've just internet, but it's just giving me a bunch of suggestions, and they're huge. So I'm just to say, it's just giving us a question: what's the biggest impact for your grade 10s? Comparative advantage bonus reinforces specialization, achievement badges, better reflection questions, price history graph. What to add?
Okay.
So I said excellent. Now, what for you? What would be the best thing? Advantage bonus, achievement badges, reflection questions, price history graph. So I was going to put in the comparative advantage now, and I basically said put in the comparative advantage, current events, link to tariffs, include a price history graph, implement each suggestion above, and ensure the simulation works at each stage. So that's why you can see it's like creating the next thing. If we didn't say something like make sure one above still works, it could create all of it and then crash something, and then it's really hard to find the backlog. That pretty much do this. You can get in, and it'll run like a step-by-step guide. Execute this. Check. Just basically turned that into a prompt. All right. Comparative advantage is added. Trade log recognition, endgame analysis, how it teaches. Gave us some examples. Test simulation now. All right, let's do it. We're going to select UK. All right. Global tech demand surges, AI boom, drives massive demand for electronics, price climbs, holders for electronics machinery benefit. Currently got 500 baht. So we don't want to buy when it's up, but let's just go buy 5 oil. Yeah, that worked. Turn. UK medical recall announced, holders of pharmaceuticals benefit.
You think the scenarios are gonna be different each time they run the simulation?
Yeah, I think so. So that's where I'll just buy a couple of things and then go through because it's got simulations, global tech surges, AI booms. It's again the same thing. I just that something kicked my do. I want to sell. Actually, I want to sell. Where's the tech? You got any? Nope. Intern. Seasonal floods, holders of rice benefit. So see certain things. So it's telling me like this is what you're holding with the green, like this is home base. It's giving us wealth changes based on what we're doing. Buy some of that, buy that, intern, seasonal floods, buy, intern, and complete session. Complete ended up getting a profit of 44 baht. 40% basically comparative advantage. UK Kingdom, you specialize in pharmaceuticals machinery. You diversified away from your specialization. Only 40% came from home exports. Remember, countries benefit from specializing in goods. Reflection question to the MYP criterion D. Explain how supply and demand influenced your trading decisions throughout the simulation, including specific example events, and then play again.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we'd say like this good, like give it feedback. And then it's ready to implement stage 2, which is linking to current events.
Oh, okay.
So that was just stage 1 of putting in the comparative advantage.
Mhm.
And now we could say, okay, move to stage.
Would they be real current events or hypotheticals?
We can specify, we can ensure real events based
Yeah, or the news.
on market conditions. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. So once you might find that I saw it came with the same scenario a couple of times.
Mhm.
So up with like, flood. And then again, 3 rounds later, there was a flood
Yeah,
again.
the flood.
So
Amazing best.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now see, because we're now saying link it to current events, that's adding a whole level of complexity because it's now trying to sift the internet or sift, articles.
So much better because the only electronic way I knew how to do this is that you can get stock simulations. You're given play money and then you bet on the stock market, but there's never a provable cause and effect to that.
Yeah.
And a gambler.
Yeah.
It's just speculation at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, well, that's it.
And they get a false sense of
How it
their
works.
greatness.
Yeah, exactly.
Although in 2008, 2009, it was an awesome game because they all lost their self-confidence.
That's honestly, the best lesson they could have. Fake
Yeah.
money, lose it all.
You're not a genius.
Yeah, not a trading lord. You can. That's so funny. So eventually we'll hit a token limit, but we're currently up to version 14 of this app simulation.
And do you have a free one or you pay for this?
This is paid, but this is 35 Australian a month.
Yeah.
Which I find that's just,
Yeah, you can use it.
Yeah. So I've got the world current events authentic to 2025 markets. All 9 events are based on current commodity market considerations, such as oil oversupply, coffee historic highs, US tariff shock, high since 1930s, and it's given us reasons, major events, and now it's saying ready for stage 3. I'm just going to say yes, which is history graph, because we haven't hit really much errors yet, which is pretty good. This is for me, this highlights the importance of having a really PID right at the start.
Right.
You prompt and get a really stable product refinement document, because that just gives you the whole foundation of the whole thing. If we tried to implement each part individually, we'd probably hit so many errors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Installation complete.
Yeah, so you've got the full Claude code. This is just the Claude app web browser. So you got Claude Code, which is this one, which you can download. I haven't downloaded it yet. And then got Claude itself, which is separate, but it still has a coding platform inside of it. It's just not as robust.
So I should see
just regular
the
floor.
command prompt.
Yeah, so here, here's our first error saying artifact failed to load, generated artifact uses libraries we don't support. Okay, and then it just says try fixing, and then once it's done, we're fixing this bug. All right, cool. So we've got the history graphs, got current global events, wheat supply, expected to rise 8% in 2025 due to global supply shortages and strong demand from Asia. And then it's given where it's pulled it from based on the financial content analysis, October 2025. So that's current market conditions. So let's just sell and then end it. And I just want to just end.
Assign commodities at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, so I'll go refresh it. So this is the beginning. You select your country based on whatever. So that's India. And then here's my commodities. They're in green. You can see I've got 12 holdings of spice, 10 of textiles.
Okay.
I got 500 in cash. And that number here, as you go through by selling, so if I sell these, well, I've got a little bit of money added. I want to buy a bunch of this. I've lost, like, Silver's wealth is quite high because you've got all these commodities.
Right.
And then here's my event log of what in my history. I'm just going to end and choose to buy or sell. So I suppose that's the thing to teach kids too. Holding is half the battle.
Right.
It's like when they're crazy. Yeah, and here we go. Massive tariff just hit 28% tariff on domestic products. And right, somehow because I just held it, I've got a profit. Comparative amount performance rating, not bad. You maintained your capital. Cool.
Does it summarize your choices you made?
Yeah, you leveraged your comparative advantage well. 58% of your portfolio came from home exports. Remember, countries benefit from specializing in goods. Yeah. If we want a more detailed comparative advantage, like than this, because they're reflecting on.
Right.
I suppose that would be you're determining what you want them to do and what you want the simulation to do. But I can hit publish on this one, and whether that's your MVP, your minimum viable product that you are happy to run with kids, or you can just keep iterating really. There we go. When we've got the published version, this is this comes up as like for kids. They see the portal, they just play, well, straight in, and then they can buy, sell, and changes all their figures, and then
Upload screenshots after they complete the game.
yeah,
And
of final complete. This is how much I lost or how much I earned. You could you can actually put that in. Where's it? You can put that in here if you want them to have an exportable Excel sheet or whatever it is. You could put that in. Okay, export spreadsheet.
how long you have that?
No, I can just say it now.
Created it supportable with the student's name. So I guess there need to be a part on the game where they have to write their name in.
Yeah, just a word caution on that one. Avoid using both names, just one.
Yeah, first name.
Yeah. What do you want? Do you want the summary? Do you want the trades made, the history in the Excel?
I think a summary would be enough, and then I can run that through ChatGPT and get an overall.
Yeah.
Provide them into team groups or just another way to present the data to them afterwards.
Yeah.
Reflection.
Yeah. So you take this like full on, like you could have, for example, a market graph. So the up and downs. You could
Products.
yeah, like that. Like you can always go back to your version and just use one that you like the most. See, there's 27 versions at the moment, but I've just asked it to include an Excel export.
Yeah, I can see how the tweaks keep coming in because if I put students' names in there and it randomly assign them a country, it would like, because it's not that they're just trading with Astra, they're trading with
Yeah.
Astra.
Yeah, you can as much context as you want into it. And at the start, you could get them to can type it, or they can select, is it going to be their trading style? Is it aggressive, is it conservative? Are we going to trends and sell by? Get them to determine their course of action right at the beginning if you wanted to.
It would be, interesting to see if you get your machine and the economy, just to say tariffs have gone up from 10% to 38% to 200% on rare earth materials from China. And then,
Yeah.
but it's economics, complex models.
I'll add in a second. What was that graph? I can't remember. It's the one that's in all share markets. It's basically like price history. It's the line graph. I think it's just line graph.
Line graph.
I've just lost all the terminology of financial brokerage. See, it does it. I've just said add a line graph price history for commodities when they're selected to simulate the real market brokerage and trading charts. Keep it simple but in line with commodity prices. Because it'd be cool if, like, when they selected, I want to look at this commodity. Here's the current price is going down. Well, what's the history? Has it been? Because they could then pull up a search engine and say, when was the last tariff hit for this commodity?
Oh, yeah.
And they could go, oh, well, based on prior market conditions, I know it's not how you should be doing certain things, but it's going to give, yeah, cool. But yes, what's it saying? Price trend over the last 5 turns. Right. I suppose it needs to say that. This is good, too simple. If I select no.
Years ago, I saw a simulation in the past. It was like 1943. You're making decisions for Anne Frank as to what country was going to survive the Nazis.
All right.
So there's all these situations you can deal with. The thing about the things that you don't. There's no situation where she gets away.
Yeah. Okay.
So
That's like the ethical decisions. Have you seen that? It's by MIT. It's about autonomous cars.
yeah,
Yeah, that one. You're gonna the old lady or the doctor?
right.
Like, or the passenger. It's interesting. I used to do it with my grade 9 engineering class when we're looking at AI and back in, like, I think it was like 2016 or something. It was so fun.
Well, I've got to run. I've got to.
Yeah, mate. I'll hit on this and then
Alright, well, thank you
you
much.
can whatever you want. I can copy this entire chat and send it to you and you can keep it editing.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Also, I hit my limit.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can do it within ChatGPT and then move it over to Claude.
Definitely probably could.
My tokens
Yeah.
for qualifier.
Yeah, that's it.